get to meditate is kind of earned, so I actually can do that and lay there for 5 minutes. What else? Racquetball, poker every once in a while. Kind of helps me shut my brain down and relax. We know you are from New York, so do you prefer the East Coast or the West Coast, and why? I like them both. I mean, I grew up in New York. I miss New York. I'm fortunate enough to be able to shoot there. We shoot Nurse Jackie 3 months out of the year. I just shot, Lucy's. We shot a portion of that there. So my family, my mom and dad and my sisters are all back there, so that's pretty cool. I got a lot of friends still in New York. As far as living there, if I didn't have a wife and 3 kids, I'd probably live there. But I like the idea of, if I was going to live in New York, it would be Manhattan, and I don't know, I like the idea of my kids growing up with grass and trees, and Manhattan's kind of a cement island, so I don't know if I'd want to raise them there. What pets do you have? Well, I'm up at my ranch right now, so I have, here at the ranch we have about 5 or 6 horses. We have goats, 2 goats. We have 2 rabbits. We have chickens, too many to count. We have a pig named Mia Ham. You saw her before, a little tiny one. We have 2 little dogs, Roxy and Pinky, and we have a lab, a black lab, Max. We have, I know we have more animals in that. Oh, we're about to get to miniature horses because my 3-year-old wants a miniature horse for her birthday, and I think my kids are spoiled. Is what I'm. This whole conversation starting to sound like. Daddy, I want a pony. Okay. Which actor do you enjoy working with the most? Have you enjoyed working with the most? Wow. I've been fortunate enough to work with so many fantastic actors. Let me think. I've worked with Burt Reynolds, for crying out loud. I worked with Burt Reynolds, Edie Falco, Rob, Kristen, the whole gang from Twilight, Kevin Spacey, Danny DeVito, Drew Barrymore. I got to work with Penny Marshall. She directed me in a movie. I mean, there's so many great actors. I got to work with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Matthew Broderick, Glenn Close. I mean, the actors I've worked with, I couldn't pick one. I've been really fortunate. I remember working with Matthew Broderick, and I had a scene. I'm looking as he's talking to me in the scene. All I could think of is, wow, I'm working with Ferris Bueller. My God, like if someone told me I'd be working with Ferris Bueller when I was growing up, I'd be like, again, you're insane. And I'm thinking, wow, that's insane. I'm sitting here, he's 5 feet away from me, and I'm actually working with him. And then there was this dead silence, and I'm like, oh wait, I have a line. So I just remembered that I had to say something. It probably looked like, wow, his character is really deep in thought, and that's what I was thinking about. What is your favorite movie? Well, I answered that one. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was the reason why I got into acting. Thank you, Mr. Paul Newman and Robert Redford, for making that movie. What is the best part of being famous? Wow, I don't really think about that much. I never walk around going, wow, I'm famous. That's so cool. I just kind of do my work, and everything else is kind of a byproduct of that. But that said, there was one moment where I actually felt famous. There was one time I was in an airport, and I got off the airplane, and we were waiting forever for our bags to come off the carousels, and there was this voice that came over the loudspeaker that said, the terminal carousel's broken, it's going to be another hour before we can actually get your bags to you. And I was like, great. So I went to sit down, and I was texting the people that I was going to meet, and some guy ran over and said, "Mr. Facinelli, I brought you your bag." And I thought, and he goes, "If you need anything, give me a call." And I thought, wow, that's so cool that he actually knew who I was and went out of his way to bring me my bag. Yeah. Do you prefer acting in movies or television shows? Wow. You know, I love film just because there's something about it. I don't know. There's like something about it being kind of an event where you shoot it and then you're removed from it for a while, and then it all gets put together, and then you actually get to go to this premiere event and see it up on a big screen, and people come out of their homes to see it, and there's something really I don't know, interesting about that I like the whole thing of it. But that said, there's parts of television that I like too. It's very immediate. It's a quicker kind of pacing when you're shooting. You're not waiting around as much. When I'm acting in TV, you're acting more than you're waiting. You know, when you're doing film work, a lot of time you're waiting around because they have to light these scenes. It takes forever. You're waiting around more than you're acting. So there's certain things that from TV I definitely enjoy too. But I think it all stems from the writing. I think wherever the good writing is where I go. Do you have a favorite mantra or quote that you live by? Like everything else in life, you just have to decide what to do with what you're given. Carlisle Cullen. You know, when I was younger, I met a homeless man, and I bought him a slice of pizza. It was interesting because he looked hungry, and instead of giving him money, I said, you want lunch?" And I brought him into the pizzeria, and I sat down and had lunch with him, which, you know, was weird because everyone stares at you, and, you know, why are you having lunch with this guy? But I didn't care. I liked that. I liked sitting down and talking with him because, you know, he had a lot to offer. He had a lot to say, and one thing he said to me was, "Nothing is true. Nothing is false. It's all how you look at things through the looking glass of life." and I thought, wow, that's really poignant, and I always remembered that quote, and it's one of the things I live by. And it only cost me $1.99 pizza slice. What pranks have you played on set? You know, on Eclipse, I was so busy shooting Nurse Jackie and Eclipse at the same time. I didn't really have a lot of time. We were doing all these action training stuff. We didn't really have time to play jokes on each other. In New Moon, I remember, I think I told this story before, but so forgive me if you've heard it, but I was at the store and there was a card. And on the outside of the card, it said, "You are not what you do." And there was like a bridge with a flowing river on the front, and when you open it up, it said, "Hopefully one day you'll find the job that's right for you." And so I bought that card and I gave it to Rob Pattinson because I thought it'd be funny. And I said, "Rob, I got you a card." And he was like, "Oh, thanks." And then he read it and he was like, "Thank you." I was like, "No, it's a joke." And he was like, I had to explain it to him. And basically giving him that card is like saying, "Hey, you suck as an actor, you need to find something else to do in life." Because it's like, hopefully you'll find the job one day that's right for you. So he then thought it was funny, and I said, "You should give it to Kristen." And he goes, "Yeah, that's funny, I'll give it to Kristen." He gave it to Kristen. And I saw him later. I said, "Did you give it to Kristen?" He goes, "Yeah, she's mad at me now." I was like, "Oh man!" So I had to go to Kristen, and I was like, "No, I gave it to Rob." And Rob, he didn't. It was a joke. And then she said, "No, it would have been funny if you gave it to me, but Rob gave it to me, so now I'm mad at him." I was like, "No, it was a joke." So then she laughed, and then we ended up having fun just passing it around the set, just giving it to all the actors. And then we gave it to Chris Weitz, the director, and he loved it so much. He was like, "I'm keeping this," and so he kept the card. What other projects are you currently working on in both your personal and professional life? Well, I have a lot of things I'm working on. You know, there's those 2 projects that I just produced, and one of them, called Mulligan, that my wife did for the Hallmark Channel, and I wrote that one, and then the one that I wrote and produced and acted in called Lucy's. We're in post-production on that. I wrote another movie, kind of in the vein of Scarface, that I want to do, and we're looking to do that next year, right after the 4th and 5th Twilight wrap up. And then my wife and I, we bought 15 acres up in in California, north of Santa Barbara. And what we want to do is build like the ultimate green home. So so I thought, well, if we're gonna do that, let's document it and try to show people how you can actually, do green stuff. Like, I don't know a lot about the green world, so I'm going to be learning as well. And so we just teamed up with Oprah's new network, OWN, and we're going to document, the building of the home. And so for you guys to check out. Hopefully, you can take away some stuff from that. Well, I guess my time is up. I've been getting this wrap it up signal. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thank you, Toms of Maine, for having me as a part of the Wicked Fresh campaign chat series. Jenny and I are big fans. So yes, as she brushes her teeth with Toms of Maine toothpaste. So keep doing the great work that you do to create natural products that are good for people in this wickedly good world that we share. And don't forget, Save the Whales at savethewhales.org or Alex's Lemonade Stand. They do amazing work, and your support would mean a lot to me personally. So look those up when you get a chance. And thank you for hanging with me the last hour. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. Good night.